Last season was your first season as head coach of the Bulldogs. How did that season live up to your expectations, and what can you take away from it?
I was really, really happy with the season. We didn't win as many games as I would like. Most coaches in the country, if they're not undefeated, are probably saying that. But what I took away from it was that we had a group that was really hungry to be successful. And there were times when we had some struggles and we were practicing with 7 people, or we had a couple injuries and we were really young, and we went through a lot of adversities last year. But the one thing that this group did, which I was really happy with, is they kept getting better, and they worked at it, and they had a good attitude. And teams can be on roller coasters, but I thought that we made slow and steady improvements throughout the entire year, and that's a very good thing.
Well, your team is one of the more experienced teams in the conference this year, returning 4 starters and having 5 seniors. Does having this much experience help you as a coach?
It should, and the hard part is, yes, we do have some experience, but when it really comes to playing experience, Taylor Meyer played 3 years, and Al Harris, I think, has 2 years. I don't know, I don't even know if she played a whole lot her freshman year, so we do have a lot of experience, but they don't have a lot of experience in the system that we run and the style of play that we play. So it's a very positive thing, but in my opinion, we're still young from that standpoint, and I think that will give us a ton of room to grow throughout the season. So I think while we do have experience and some older people on our team, we also have a lot of room for improvement.
Like you mentioned, forward Taylor Meyer, who led the Bulldogs in scoring a couple years ago, returns to the team this season. How much will she help, and what do you expect from her?
Taylor helps from a competitive standpoint and from a knowledge standpoint. So she is a very intelligent basketball player, and she makes little tiny plays all over the court. So while I think people are like, okay, so Taylor's going to score a bunch of points, that's not even the extent of her game. And she'll be able to score, but she's a great distributor. She rebounds. She makes really smart decisions defensively. And so I think her all-around game will just help us in, every way on the basketball court, and gives us another threat offensively. So I think that we're going to have some people on the offensive side that are going to have great years, just because people are now going to have to worry about, more than just Al Harris or, certain people on the court. I think that she just opens up a lot of possibilities for us.
Well, last season your team seemed to play a low-scoring, physical style of play. Do you expect the same type of thing this year, and do you think it fits your team well?
I think that we're going to run a little bit more this year. We hopefully are more physical. We're stronger, but the plan is to score more points this year. Last year, we were young and we struggled scoring a little bit throughout the season, and if it goes as planned, that'll change a little bit this season.
You mentioned a goal is obviously to score more points. Last season, your team shot just under 30% from the three-point line. Do you think you have more of an outside threat this year?
We should. Yeah, we absolutely should. I think that a lot of our players put some time in the summer and came back with a better skill set, and we focused a ton on footwork, and we are already shooting the basketball better. So, in theory, right now, we are a better shooting team than we were last year.
What specifics do you think the Bulldogs have to do well to be successful this year?
A little bit of everything. Right now, I think what we're focusing a ton on is patience on offense, running the floor, lockdown defense, and we're getting to the point where we're starting to compete more at practice than we did at the beginning of the season or even last year. And so I think those 4 things are really important for the success of our team.
Going back to the scoring, you guys returned 90% of your scoring from last year.
Mm-hmm.
Does this help you and change the way you coach, knowing that you have a lot of options to go to?
Yeah, it helps. It helps for end-of-game type of situations. It helps during stagnant times throughout the game, because every team has a period where, another team is going on a run, and when you return all of your scoring and then add a couple people that can also score, it gives you more options. And so I think that will benefit us down the stretch, and hopefully allow us, last season I think our biggest issue is we had teams that would go on some pretty big runs. in the games, and sometimes if they took away some things offensively for us, we didn't have an answer. And I think this year we will hopefully have more answers to those types of situations.
Well, this year, how do you see the NSIC shaking up, and where do you think the Bulldogs fit in?
Oh, who knows? You know, I mean, every year is so different. They do the preseason polls, but I mean, you never know what's going to happen. The plan is to start fighting to get towards the top of the league, and we're going to work really hard to do that. But you can't really predict the future. You never know what's going to happen. But we're better. We're better than we were last year, and we'll find out what that means.
All right. Well, the Bulldogs open the regular season on Saturday against Michigan Tech. Do you think you and your team is prepared for the start of the season here?
You know, the players would say yes, they're ready to go, they're sick of practicing, and I think every coach in the country would say I'd like, another week or two of practice so we can get everything that we want in. But we are a lot further ahead this season than we were last year. And we'll be, very prepared to play on Saturday. It should be a great matchup for us. Michigan Tech is always traditionally very strong. Competitive. They've got some very good players, so it should be a competitive, exciting game. So we're as prepared as we're going to be. See what happens.